All right. Good evening, everybody. Today is December the 15th, 2022. Chris, did you make it over?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. An announcement. The habeas corpus that Chris spoke about at the last call or two, it's been converted into Word, and it's now in the member section of youhavetheright.com, if you are so inclined. So that is available. Seems like I had some other announcement. I don't know. Anyway, you guys, this call is brought to you by youhavetheright.com, and when you guys join up and become members, not only do we help you, but you help us bring you these calls and maintain the information that you need. So please consider joining our membership, and for sure, if you want to stay in touch with these calls, join our mailing list, because I send out notices of the calls on the mailing list. So, all right, Chris, I will. Oh, by the way, if you guys have any questions, I know there's a number of people in the queue already. You can hit *6 on your phone, and that'll put you in our queue to raise your hand, and we'll call on you. So, Chris, go ahead. Take it away.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. I'm trying to pull up this email that I got, and in its questions Thomas had sent me. Well, I'm trying to find them here. It's probably got me on them too, but let's see here. Okay, hang on a second. I'm going to pull these. I'm going to pull these questions up, and I'm going to address a few of them because I thought that where are they?
So you got questions from somebody else?
Yeah, one of the folks that's been on the call here, Tad.
Okay.
His name is Thomas, and
hi, Thomas.
I'm trying to find. He had a list of questions. I can't seem to find them.
Well, all the emails you got your work cut out for you.
Yeah. It's I'm trying to find the attachments that had to do with his question. It was a Word. It was a Word document where he had questions for me that pertain to the banking. And dang, man, I can't find them now. This might be it. Yeah, here it is. It's a list of questions that he had emailed me, right?
Okay.
Now, and so I figured instead of just giving them to him, that I would share them. He's supposed to be on here tonight. We're also this guy here, Tad. I spoke with him briefly today, and he has got a wealth of information on banking, and maybe even actually he's got some stuff that I would consider that wasn't in the 1,000 pages, but he's pretty learned in this banking process, and he's got some fairly good information that he's going to share. Me and a friend of his we're going to do a Zoom tomorrow, and then get into some of this stuff.
Okay.
But he sent me 9 questions. Number 1, will your national bank be able to negotiate promissory notes for private discharge and indemnity bonds to the Fed for insurance of credits to the benefit of the principal and facilitate monetizing through FedWire. Yes, we will. That's one of the things that I know that you'd be able to. And when I say we, I'm saying those of us who will initiate the private bank. Number two is, do you plan on using stock and transfer agent to negotiate securities issued to your national bank? Really, it's our private bank, and it's an international private bank. So, but I get it. What he's saying in the questions, either as private placement bonds or securities to be routed to the DTCC and then to the Treasury for disbursement to FedWire into the account of the beneficiary. That's exactly what we'll be doing. These transfers from these loans are going to do that. When I secure your loans for you through your trust, this is all going to be wired to your wired throughout. And three, will your national bank be able to earn or charge a percentage of the funds described as settlement for fee or charge? That's yes. And number four, as per 12 CFR Volume 1, Part 7, is he's aware of this. When I was speaking about this a month ago, dealing with the banker's acceptance, will your entity make the most of using banker's acceptance? Subsection 7.1007. There's a lot of stuff. Like here it is, and I'll read it to you. A national bank is not limited in the character of acceptance it may make in financing credit transactions. Bankers' acceptance may be used for such purposes, since the making of acceptance is an essential part of bank authorized by 12 USC 24. Yeah, you will. A lot of this stuff that you guys are learning, you're going to be using. You're probably going to start out with simple things first, and then as you become more familiar with that, you'll lead into the more complicated aspects of banking. Number 5, I'm not going to answer that one because I haven't got real clarity on that one. And that's will your national banks or channels available to institutions be able to monetize 197 judgment form? Who provides the QSIP and the ISIN number? I'm not going these questions in here that I'm not answering. It's because I haven't got full disclosure on. Like number 6, pursuant to 12 USC, subsection 24, corporate powers of association. When do you anticipate being in a position to create your charter, complete the, and this is in quotations, making and filing articles associated with an organization, certificate of national banking association shall become as formed the date of the execution of its organization certificate, a body corporate as such, and in the name designated the organization certificate, it shall have power and then issue and adopt the use of the corporate seal. This is this private banking isn't going to. There's a lot of aspects of the public side of banking that you're not going to have to deal with, and this right here. But you are going to. I'm pretty sure that you're going to be able to. You'll be able to create your own seal. There's a lot of these questions in here that I haven't really hashed out the details of. So I don't want to. I'm really not at liberty to go into detail in answering some of these questions. 7 is pursuant to 12 CFR subsection 1.2 definition. Will you be able to meet the collateral requirements for either Tier 1 or Tier 2 capital to fund national bank through sources who have been able to access their accounts with distribution credit, capital from trust, estate accounts, Cestui Que Q, access by either merge of legal and equitable title or liquidation of trust assets and distribution to the beneficiary for the trust. That may be possible. Number 7 may be possible. I want to find out some more information on that because actually that's what I would be doing with mine at 65. I would want to, get the full access to that and possibly get the whole amount instead of just what they owe me. I don't know. That's something we'll see about. But that's very possible, number 7. What makes a debt eligible for bankers' acceptance? What makes a debt eligible for bankers' acceptance? This debt, most of these debts that are going to be attributed to the bank will be the debt that's being created from the beneficiary to the beneficiary. So the debt, that question there, the debt is actually on paper. It's going to be, the debt's going to be owed to me because I'll be the one responsible for paying that debt back to the trust. I'm the one that's going to have to answer for that. That's why there has to be the 1099-C to cancel after a year. And then lastly, 9, who have you selected to be your board members? Since a minimum of 5 are required, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say who I've selected. And I know that there will be 9 because 9's a good number. I've given a lot of thought to this. Who I have smoked over more or less, using a Native American analogy, of some individuals or some beings that I think are going to be the most benefit to the foundation. But I'm also looking at how the foundation's going to be subdivided. And right now I have 8 divisions of it, and so there's going to be at least 8. I want 9 because 9's a good number to have. It's an odd number. It's good for voting. Not to mention it's a Safagio number. It's the first one that's divisible by 3 with with a 3. So, multiples of 3. Anyway, there's aspects of or divisions that I found that some people are, I think they're in their demeanor and their the intelligence of what it is that they do. Because like we're going to have one division that's going to be cybersecurity, and then they're probably going to be security too. And it takes a certain person, as far as I'm concerned, to sit in that seat of a security head, the head of security. And I've considered 3 people, I'm not sure. And that's how I've done it. I've looked at these divisions. I looked at who I thought would be great. There's a liaison division. And the liaison is going to be that division is going to be the one that's going to be working with Treasury. And to choose somebody for that position initially, say I want someone who's good at the game of connecting people. And I've ran into a lot of people out here, well, actually, probably about a half a dozen that are good at that. I talk with folks and they're like, I know this guy that, like you, Tad, for instance. We've talked about stuff privately, and you say, and right away you say, well, I know this guy. Once I explain it to you, well, I know this guy. You know what I'm saying? Have we not had those conversations?
Yeah.
I know this guy, and this is what he does. That's the kind of person that I'm looking for. That's a liaison type, someone who's a connector. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for qualities in people that are best suited for which divisions they're going to be in. And that's not written in stone yet. So I couldn't say who I've selected. That would be unfair right now to even mention that. Who's going to be what. So I do know that there's 3 people that I'm pretty sure are going to be sitting around this round table besides myself. But I know a good deal about this banking system and how it's going up. But I've connected with certain folks, like the conversation I had today with Thomas. There's things that he knows that I'm sure is going to be beneficial for setting up the foundation. Helping me, because that's something that the Treasury really hasn't told me about. You set up a company, you set up an LLC or a nonprofit or
exactly
that's up to you.
Yeah.
I haven't, I don't know a whole lot about that, and there's folks out there that do. The best way for this foundation to succeed is to have people like Thomas, that's read 70,000 pages of documents pertaining to, banking and organization of things. I'm sure that he's going to be able to give me some good advice. And that's what I'm looking for, guys. I'm looking for people that's got great advice to help get this up. The sooner it's up, the stronger the foundation is, then the better the building will go on top of it. And there's all kinds of people out there. I've ran into so many people that are way smarter than I am, way smarter. And I've gleaned that from conversations that I've had with them. So this has really been, like I say all the time, I'm more blessed doing this stuff than I'm blessing people, or at least that's how I feel. So that's where we're at with that, the banking thing. Monday morning, I talked with Mitchell. I call him Mitch, and he's like, don't call me Mitch. My name's Mitchell. Okay, Mitch. But I talked with him, and he said that if I didn't hear get the paperwork finalized by the end of the week, then it'd probably be the first of the year when they come back off of their break, their Christmas break. And he did say that he has heard quite a bit of talk around the water cooler, or whispers around the water cooler about what it is that we're doing with this private banking. And apparently there's a couple of powerful people in the Treasury that are real stoked. They're really psyched up about what it is we're getting ready to do. I don't know how many of y'all have heard anything about this, but there is a great division between the Federal Reserve and the Treasury going on right now. They're bitter enemies. And the way it was explained to me is the Federal Reserve is more so an entity of the World Bank, and the Treasury is we the People's Bank. And the Treasury, they want to regain the power that they have as our bank, or the People's Bank, and take the power and the control away from the corporate bank, the corporate person that control the Federal Reserve and the World Bank. And they're seeing, I believe they're seeing what we're doing as the opportunity for the people to take their bank back and take control of their bank back. And I think the more I've thought about this since Monday, it makes perfect sense, because if you can take the banking control away from the big corporations and put it back into the hands of the people, we're looking at less control of the corporations over the legislative and the executive branch of the government. So what we're doing, I've heard some people commented that this is a sellout. You sold out, man. I thought you was a real patriot, and blah, blah, blah. And my comment back for that is, I didn't sell out. I bought in. And that's what we're doing. We're the same people that want to be critical about what it is that we're doing now. Oh, you're in bed with the government. No, what we're doing is we're taking back our government. I see this as a way of doing it. And I also think that the Treasury sees this as a way of doing it. So that's what's up with that. But I think that's about all I really got to say.
That's a lot.
Other than, yeah, I know. I try to keep that down. I've had some bad internet going on every night. It seems like every night.
All right. Well, let's get a few questions in while we can.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope they don't. If they kick us out, call me back and keep trying it, because it's better for you to call me back than for me to try and call.
It is. I don't have call waiting. All right, let's get started. Let's start off with Diana.
Oh, awesome. Hi. Oh, you guys.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hi. I really appreciate you guys. You don't know how much. It's just so wonderful. Anyway, this is what happened to me. I was living in Tennessee, and I had to move back to California. My daughter's out here, so I'm here now. But I got hit by a guy, and I'm not at fault. And here I am. It was a fender bender, and I took photos of everything. I called a 911, and they don't send the cops out here unless there's a injury. And I went, great. So I pulled over. I exchanged information with the dude. I called my insurance right away, told him everything, had pictures of everything. And then she said, you call his insurance, USAA, and, of course, I have Progressive, which is terrible. Now I know. And the Progressive girl says, well, you can go have somebody look at it. We got to figure it out, who's at fault, blah, blah, blah. But, okay, so that happened there. And then they have not done jack diddly. I called USAA, and they interviewed me, and I sent all the pictures. Nothing's been done. Nothing. That was November 1. I am so irritated. And they're prepaid through January, and I'm going to get rid of them in January when this is over. I think I need to do that conditional letter of acceptance, but I want to make sure I do it right.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's that your beef is with the insurance company.
Yeah.
Right? They're going to drop you. You don't have to worry about you dropping them. They're going to drop you after this. Unless they've got accident forgiveness. They do have that in Tennessee. Or at least we do. We've got it. That's who I got, or my wife. It's her policy. No, wait a minute. We're with Geico. She's with Geico now. So, but Progressive, I know, if you don't have the accident forgiveness, they're going to drop you. And they probably would drop you anyway. They'll forgive the accident and pay for the damages, but drop you anyway. Yeah, if you're going to do the conditional acceptance, you got to remember that you gave them your Social Security number.
Yeah.
That makes them a trustee. And the fact that they're not, this sounds typical for California. It really does.
Oh, it's awful. I lived here 33 years, and then I moved to Tennessee for 11. Oh.
Yeah.
I hate being back here.
Tennessee.
I'm going to come back, though, when I get
I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. I would, too. It's just a better state. The red states are always better states to live in. But that's just my opinion, folks. But, yeah, you can do a conditional. You can conditionally accept anybody. Anybody that is acted as a trustee and has done you wrong, you can do a conditional acceptance on. You may want to try, this would be a new one for me. So you want to try and get you a conditional acceptance that's close to what it is your situation is. And that would probably be Ronald James conditional acceptance, the traffic one. And then modify it for what it is you're doing. Most of the case law, you picture it, figure out what it is you want to use. Read the California Constitution, because there's probably something you want to add from it. And you can even use the policy as Exhibit A. It says right here in the policy that you do X, Y, and Z. And why haven't you done X, Y, and Z? You see what I'm saying? You can use their own policy, their own statutes, or their own codes in their policy to write your conditional acceptance. It will not be easy, because there won't be a lot of there won't be a lot of facts that you'll have to add. You know.
Should I say like like send in the photos and what I said happened because I talked to both these ding dongs,
Yeah. Yeah,
well,
those are all those are exhibits. When you talk about the photos, look at the damage to the right fender. And you can put the photos in there too. Make copies of them on your printer. Use them as if you put 6 of them on one page, color print. Exhibit A1 or A3 or number the pictures, so that they can refer to that as they read that. But your facts shouldn't be a whole lot. It'll be the wreck, and it'll be the conversations that you've had with these agents, trying to remember what the best you can. But remember, even if you're not telling it exactly, it'll be the truth when you're done.
Well, here's the deal. I'm on vacation. I'm not living here permanently. Okay, so whatever. I mean, I told him, I'm on vacation. I'm not changing my, I didn't even get a driver's license here. I still got Tennessee. It's good till 24, and I've got my plates good next year. And I'm getting out of here before that happens. I'm done. I'm done with this place. I hate it.
That's probably why they're not wanting to fool with you in California.
But this has to be through, because it happened here, it has to be through California, their state, the laws, case law, and all that.
Yeah, it does. You're going to want to do it where it happened at, because you're going to serve the Attorney General in California as your witness.
What about damages? Can I put that in there, that letter that has all the damages in there? How much money?
Yeah, you can put the letter of the damages, but the actual debt that they're going to owe you is going to be far more than what the damages are. Like when I did this, and I sat down and I figured up all the child support that I paid over 15 years, and I added it all up, and it was, $271,000. And when I did that, I asked my guy, I said, is this how I'm going to get my money back? He said, no, you're not. He said, or I said, am I going to get this $271,000 back? He said, yeah, but that's not all. The money that you're going to get back is the money that the Treasury is going to lien these folks for. So it's going to be far more than it'll be far more than what your car was even worth. So, yeah. But
do I have to say anything?
In the facts.
Okay. I put that in the facts, how much the Treasury is going to lien them for?
Yeah.
So how much do you think I should put down?
There's an estimated, what did the shop estimate the damage as?
I haven't even gone yet. I'm waiting for these ding-dongs to contact me. No one's looked at it. Nothing. No phone call, nothing. It's been November 1.
Go out and get 3 estimates. Most of those body shops will give you a free estimate. Yeah, how much is it going to cost to fix? A lot of them are going to give you, one of them is probably going to say, well, I'm going to give you mine, and I've got 3 friends or 2 friends that I'll call, and they'll give estimates that are higher. And then they do that to get to work without having to take a big loss at it. Then you can add that in. I would. Go ahead.
I want to say, I want to find these jerks because I'm sitting here from November 1, and I'm still sitting here. Nothing's done. That's crap. I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
So what's the deal?
Yeah, I hear you. That's what I would do.
Okay.
All right, so does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much, you guys. I really
thank you. Okay, Karen.
Thank you.
You've been waiting. Go ahead.
Well, hi, guys.
Hello.
I know I haven't been on
Karen.
a few weeks. Yes, it's Karen. Zita. Yeah, sorry, I should have given my last name. Yeah, I'm still interested in helping you out with the foundation, and I totally understand about the animosity between the Federal Reserve and the Treasury, and I know that history, and that inspires me that you didn't sell out, you definitely bought in. And
yeah,
anybody
that's what we did. All
who
right.
sell out is commentary.
Well,
so,
the same people that I would have said, well, look, I would consider you being one of the first people to get a loan for. Can you send me your contact information? Here's my email. And 9 times out of 10, or probably 98 times out of 100, they would say, yeah, sure, man, here you go. So who's the real sellout? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But did you have a question, Karen?
Yeah. My question was, did you get my email that I sent quite a while ago now? Sorry.
Did you send it in Proton?
I believe so. I mean, I can look it up.
Okay.
So do you have a
Give me your email
question
address
for us
again, and I'll
for tonight, Karen?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a question for the call?
That's my question. Did you get my email?
Well, all right.
Did I get the email? Would the email be Karen? Would it read
Yes.
Karen?
It's my name.
Okay, and it was Proton Mail?
Oh, no, my email is msn.com, and I can look up what I sent it to.
If you send it to Proton Mail, the only Karen I see here is someone
All right.
who knew Karen, Karen, the gal that was in our. What was it about? What was the email about? If you don't mind talking about it without getting into
if you make it quick, please.
I'm trying to. It was just an offer to be, part of the work to get those.
You sent like you kind of sent like a resume.
Yeah, and I'm available full time starting the 1st of February, so I certainly could be.
Yeah, you're getting ready to retire. You're in banking, aren't you? You're in banking or accounting or.
I've been in IT since 1976.
That's it. Yeah, I thought I sent you a response. Yeah, there's been a couple people send IT about IT, and a couple people about.
If we can, I'd like to move on because this is for people that actually have questions that they need answered, not just, hey, I sent you an email. I'd rather this platform not be used for that. So.
Totally get it, but I didn't know how else to ask this question.
Okay.
I got it. I thought I sent you a return.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll let y'all know as soon as this bank is up. Y'all will know, and and then flood me with all the, we could use, because I'm going to need people, not just people that are out here teaching folks how to bank. I'm going to need some IT people. I'm going to need somebody to run a website. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I might even have one of the 9 people in the council do that. So stay tuned. We're not forgetting about anybody.
I can also
That's
write
great.
too.
That's perfect. All right, Karen, thanks for calling in.
All right, Tallahassee, you're next. Go ahead. 850 area code. Your phone unmuted. You may need to unmute your phone, please. There you go.
I'm with you. Sorry. My name's Maria. Hi. Thanks for taking my call. How do we get on the list for you to help us and for you to be our trustee? I have that. That's my first question. I do have a second question.
Well, I'm not going to be anybody's trustee until I'm ready to start helping people get their loans. Once I do that, then I'll be your trustee. When you get a contract in the mail for me to help you secure your loan, that's when I'll be your trustee. I can't do this trustee thing like the Jarretts are doing. I can't do that. Those folks got 3,000 individual clients.
Right.
So,
Right. Well, I finally got my 1099As and stuff, so I didn't know, are they paying out on them, or is there a big hold on that? That kind of leads to my second question, though.
Yeah, okay, if that's your second question.
No, it leads into my second question.
Okay, then they are, I do know that they are holding 1099As. I don't know the specifics of it or the quantity of what it is they're being or what it is that's being held. But some of them aren't. Some of them are coming back, guys. So, that's what I'm saying. Like Jay on Tuesday night. Oh, well, we've pretty much put the 1099A thing on hold. Why? Because it is working. In some cases, it is. It all has to do with how they look at whoever the trustee is. For some reason or another, some folks may be a flag for them when things come in like that. Oh, here comes this guy. He's a trustee. We flagged him already. He's a go. He's a green flag. Go ahead and process what he's doing. And it could be solely based on the kind of contact that the Social Security Administration that's withholding all this money is a reason for doing it. Like with me, I must have been a green flag. When the letter of credit came through them, we owe this guy some money, and he's proven it by, running the whole legal course, going to prison and shit. This guy, he showed us that he can be a trustee. I don't know how they operate with that, so it would be my advice to go ahead and do this. Find a trustee. Find somebody that can understand what it is that you're doing. If they don't understand it, teach them what it is they're doing. Work with them. Get them going in the direction that they need to go, and then have them file it.
Nobody trusts this plan that I took.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. You can. Anybody that you hand a 1099A to becomes your trustee. Now, whether or not the Treasury recognizes them as a financial institution or not, I don't know where that all goes. But it won't hurt to try.
Right.
Worst case scenario is they're going to keep it and hold on to it until the proper system can be generated to handle that. That could very well be what they're wanting us to do. I talked to the Jarretts about 3 weeks ago, and I said, you guys could be approached to be a bank because you got so many of these things that you submitted.
Yeah.
So,
right.
you have a question?
With today's modern what's going on today in the financial industry and the U.S. corporations being bankrupt, and we hear of everything's supposed to be backed by gold. We're supposed to go back to the gold-backed standard. And I mean, how does this play out if the fiat dollar really isn't backed by anything?
Who said we're even dealing with the U.S. dollar?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. What are we?
Well, the banking system since the 60s has been all based on electronic transfers of funds, credits, What's in your trust account right now is not dollars. They're trust credits.
Okay.
You don't have a dollar amount in your Social Security account. You've got trust credits in there. Because there is no dollar.
What about the birth certificate number and the QSIP number, and you go and you find out what you have?
Those are all trust credits. All of it is. We don't. The dollar isn't worth diddly. Yeah, the dollar isn't worth diddly squat. Everything.
I'm with you on that.
Credit. So, if I've got 150 million trust credits, let's call them dollars. Let's call these dollars that we're taking from people from their work energy and putting it into the trust fund. Let's call them dollars, but really they're trust credits. Because the dollar isn't worth squat. It's not worth freaking the paper it's written on. I've got a big bag of copper pennies. You know why? I don't use copper pennies because they're worth more in copper than they are a penny.
Yes, I have my collection also.
Why are you saving all these pennies? Because these pennies are made out of copper.
That's right.
They're worth a lot more. They're worth a lot more in copper. Melting these pennies down, they're worth a lot more than they are if I took them to the bank and rolled them up.
Correct. And what do you think going back to the gold-backed system will bring?
I don't think it ever will. The only way that I can see us going back to a metals backed.
Precious metal.
It'll be something a lot more valuable than gold, metallic.
Plutonium.
It'll be something like, something. You can back your money with anything, aluminum.
Yeah, but our Constitution is written by gold and silver, right?
Gold and silver.
The money, the wealth, the money of the people.
The Constitution says that the only way to tender a payment for debt is to use gold and silver coins. Gold and silver coins. Not gold and silver coins. That's constitutional money. That's the only way that you can tender a payment for debt, or of debt, is through gold and silver coins. But if we don't have gold and silver coins, and we went back to a feudal system where we had local kings, before that would happen, say the economic system completely collapsed, and we're all back to the dark age. We're all back to the dark age. We're going to start by bartering.
Right.
We're going to start by bartering. I'm going to give you 10 chickens for 1 hog, and that's I'm going to barter my skill as a blacksmith for your chickens. You know what I'm saying? It'll start out like that, and then what will happen is we'll start creating castes. We'll have the noble caste and the peasant caste and the knightly kind of military armor fighting people, and then you'll have a king. Once you have a king, then they'll start producing their own coins, like Caesar did. That's the only way I see us going back to a gold standard. Because if we went back to a gold standard, they would have to collect all the gold. Everybody that's got gold earrings, gold and silver earrings, and start minting, melt everything down and start minting everything back in gold and silver for us to trade with. It's not feasible.
Because you don't think there's enough of gold and you don't think there's enough gold to support
if
even
we
all
go
the gold
back
in
to
there.
gold and silver. if we go back to a gold and silver standard, we are going to be dark age. There's not going to be electricity unless you got some solar stuff.
So we do have a lot of people waiting. We got to.
All right. Yes. Thank you.
Okay,
all right.
you.
I'll send you an email with my information. Thank you.
Okay.
908 area code. Go ahead, please.
Hello.
Hi there.
Hello.
How you doing, Chris? This is Reese. We spoke about 2 weeks ago about Chase Bank.
Chase Bank. Yeah, I think I recall.
Yeah. Well, I did what you said. I called them, and I spoke to the customer service rep. And the first thing she says is, luckily, your home has not been foreclosed on. It's been 5 months now. And I said, well, yes, because I made a payment. And then she went down the notes and said, oh, yeah, we're going to send you something in the mail about that. And that was it. Because, I did what you said. I called them, and that's the first thing that she had said.
And you haven't received anything yet?
Well, I also have the W8BEN going on, so I'm getting confusing letters back, but because I also sent something about that, and this would be the second time they denied me with the W8BEN. They will not change the status.
What are you sending the W8BEN in on?
Because for taxes reasons, because I have an escrow, and they pay the taxes with my insurance. So I wanted to, before the house was paid off, I want to be able to have my status as a non-taxpayer, but they're giving me a hard time. They're sending me, paperwork back, and with form the W-9, they want me to prove. To me, it seems to be all based around status. Like, what is my status? So that
a W-9 is the same thing in prison. When I went to prison, when we went to the transition prison, it was called Bledsoe, and Bledsoe is in Middle Tennessee, and it's the prison that all new inmates go to, and that's their transitional prison. You go in there, and they do all the medical stuff, and they do all the paperwork stuff, and they give you your clothes that you're going to wear, and put you in cells, and then after 45 days, after this process is done, the last thing they have you do is go through and sign some paperwork. I was the last one to go through it because I knew exactly what was going to happen. Mm-hmm. I watched, probably 30 inmates walk through that line and go in this office with these 3 ladies and 2 guards, and they were signing stuff like crazy. There was 4 or 5 documents that they were signing in there. And I was the last one to go in. When I went in, one of the documents that they had us sign was the W-9. I looked at it. She said, what do you, she said, we got some documents here you need to sign. I said, well, what are they? And I took a look at them. I picked them up, took a look down. I threw them back down on the table. I said, I ain't signing none of this shit. Are you freaking crazy? And the guard got stupid. And the lady looked at the guard and said, don't worry about it. He doesn't have to sign any of these. And I looked at that, and I said, and I walked out of there going back. I went back to the pod with the rest of the inmates. We all went down the hallway and sat inside this big cage. And then when they rang the bell, they released us all to go back to our units. And I went in there and I said, did you all sign this W-9 in here? And everyone, I just signed a bunch of shit. I don't know what it was. I said, did you guys realize that they signed you up to be an employee? You signed a W-9, and what that is an authorization for the trust number. That authorizes the state of Tennessee to get you gave them permission to get your Social Security account. Why? Why are they doing that? Because they're going to access that trust. They're going to, by you giving them permission, now they can legally act as a trustee and steal from your trust to take care of you. You're paying, when you sign that W-9, you paid. It's your trust that's now keeping you up in prison. With me, they didn't have that option. My trust wasn't paying for it. And when it comes down to it, and I find out that it was, they committed fraud because I never authorized them to access the trust. That's what you're doing. You're making them a trustee by giving them the W-9. They can access your trust to take the taxes. If you're talking about an investment that you have, that's actually income, what you're talking about, not paying taxes on. That's actually income. Mm-hmm. That's not wages. What you're paying on is income. It's an investment. It's profits on an investment. That is actual in the definition of income. So you're trying to use the W-8 to say that you're not a United States citizen. Therefore, you don't pay taxes. But the W-9 is really used for a wages type situation where you're at a bank or where you're at a job, and not like my 401. This is my money, on my investment in my 401. So you may run into some trouble with that. But here's what I tell everybody: if you're doing a W-8 and your company says, well, we can't do that. We have to do a W-4 or a W-2. We can't do that. Or show me your green card. I've heard all the reasons why companies are refusing people to do this. And what I say is, when people say, man, I've tried twice to get them to do my W-8, they won't do it. What you do is you go in there and you tell these people, look, you're going to file this W-8, or I'm going to file it. I'm going to file it because you won't file it. I'm going to file it directly with the IRS. And by me doing this and you not doing the W-8-BEN-E, they're coming after you. And if you're withholding my taxes when I filed a W-8 and you didn't do the W-8-BEN-E, the IRS is going to be auditing you. Now, is that what you want? Because in 1 week from now, I'm going to send off my W-8. When they come back on you because you didn't file the W-8-BEN-E, and they're going to know when I file with the IRS, they're going to know that you refused to file it because I'm going to send a letter with this. I'm going to send a cover letter with this saying that my employee has refused to file for the employer, or my employer has refused to file for the employee. That's crime. And if you talk to these HR, look, I'm not asking you to do anything that you don't normally do. Do this. And if there's any problem with it, they're going to come to me, not you. My signature's on this W-8, not yours. And that's because see, look, everybody that's doing these W-8-BENs, there's just as many people that say, I did this, I took this to my company, and my HR said they never heard nothing about this. Been doing this HR stuff for 15 years. Never heard anything about this, but I'm going to file it anyway. Because they're curious. Let's do this, see what happens. Because they know I have to. There's some HR people that know that they can't refuse a filing from an employee. That's the best way to do it. If they're not going to file it for you, file it yourself. Send it right to the IRS. I'm filing this W-8BN because these people that are holding my investment refuse to take it. And then see what happens. Let the IRS be the one to turn you down.
Well, the W-8BN.
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. The W-8BN is a second priority. My first priority is I don't want them to, I want to be ahead of the game, and I don't want them to sweep this house from under me after I filled out the 1099A, and I also gave them a remittance coupon. I sent it directly to that Chase Bank CEO, but I haven't heard anything back from that at all. And
yeah, you have to wait and see what comes back from the bank. See what the letter is. You hate to jump the gun and say, call them up and cuss them out. Hey, why didn't you pay my stuff off? When they could be sending you, a 1099-C. Oh, because they couldn't talk about it on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Because phones are recorded, those lines are recorded. A lot of times when you tell those people, when they say, I just want to inform you that you're on a recorded line, I generally say, look, I record too. You're being recorded too. This is being doubly recorded. A lot of times after that, they don't want to talk to you, especially them third-party debt collectors. They like to hang up on you at that point. But that's what I would do. It's waiting time. Wait and see what it is they're sending you back, because it may not be a negative thing. It may be positive.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but I also sent I already told the IRS this whole story. I already sent them a W-4, and I explained to them what had happened. I did it already. Because I can't wait for them, and I don't want them to sneak up, hit me.
Well, that's fine, dude. You can do the W-4's got nothing to do with you attempting. When you guys are using these remittance coupons and you're using these 1099A, you're making a lawful attempt to settle a debt that doesn't really exist in the first place.
Exactly.
See, so you got all kinds of stuff to fall back on. Well, if the remittance letter doesn't work, send a 1099A. If that doesn't work, require them to do a 1099C. If that doesn't work, let them take you to court, and when you get in there, break out public law 73-10.
Exactly.
Now, how is it that you're foreclosing on a house where there's no debt?
Okay.
This is the argument.
All right, so does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you, Ted.
All right,
thank you, Chris, so much.
All right, 262 area code. Go ahead. You're next.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hey, what's up?
You can't hear me.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello. Okay. First off, I would like to say, Chris, kudos. I want to thank you for everything you're doing. And all of my friends and everybody that I know watches you. Secondly, so I guess I have two questions. The first question is, I've been studying this for 10-some years. And I did all the paperwork and got my private bankers, or individual banker, private bank EIN, got my 98 foreign grantors trust EIN, got the estate EIN, and then I got the LLC EIN. I am trustee on 4 people's trusts, and I have received 3 letters from the IRS. And the first letter stated that they needed an additional 60 days to process the information. Then, a month later, I received another letter from the IRS stating although We love to be able to answer all questions in a timely manner. We just want you to know that we need an additional 60 days to process and let you know what we're going to do with your account. As of today, now that was about 20 days ago. As of today, I got another one that stated that, and I will read it, that they are returning my Form 8888, which they didn't return it because it was not attached to the original return. However, they want me to resubmit the paperwork attaching the Form 8888 and had asked me to put it with that piece of paper so it went to a particular person. They assigned me a particular person. Now,
okay, so you got to put attention to on the 8888 or the whole thing.
Now, see, there was a problem with the green card on that one because I was not getting a few of my green cards back, so I just called the post office and wanted to check status. And they gave me actually the postman that delivers it to the Treasury. He called me, and I was on the phone with him for a while, and it turned out that particular one, they remembered very specifically, the one that went to the Treasury, that it wasn't scanned properly and that it may not be scanned, but all the documents made it there, and they did receive it. So
it shows that it was delivered.
I have a feeling they opened up the envelope because Form 888 was attached with the 1099-As and the OID and all that.
Yeah.
So
well, here's the thing about that: if you've done the 8888 with the W4, even if you didn't have the 8888, what they would do is they'd send a paper check to your house.
Well, that was my question.
All the 8888 does is it's the electronic transfer of funds, the direct deposit.
Right. But this was for the 1099-A that I am trustee on for People's Trust.
Okay, all right, I got you.
Okay, now.
Yeah, I got you.
All of a sudden, I got a green card back. This was maybe 3 weeks after talking with the postman. I got a green card back, and it was addressed to 1111 Constitution Avenue. However, the stamp came back. It was in
Ogden, Utah.
No, it was another place. Massachusetts,
Austin,
I want to think.
Austin, Texas.
No.
Well, there's different.
It's
There's
where
Kansas City,
the state of Wisconsin.
There's Kansas City, Kansas, and
Kansas City, Missouri. Now, all of a sudden, all of these letters that I get from the IRS, they're all Ogden, Utah. Now they've assigned, like I said. So if I send them the original 1099-As for, I guess, my clients, I would have to have them re-sign with their beneficiary signature on the back of the 1099-A, correct?
Absolutely. If you've got to resubmit all the documents and attach an 8888 to it, you're going to have to get them to sign them all over again.
Okay, this is exactly what the letter says.
Resubmit the papers.
Yes, it says, thank you for your inquiry dated July 27, 2022. We are returning your Form 8888 as it was not attached to the original return. Please attach the original return for the correct tax period along with the Form 8888. If you have any questions, please call. If you prefer to write. And then it says to please include this bottom portion with your Form 8888, and it is directly to a particular person at the IRS in Ogden, Utah. And she's program manager.
Okay.
So now what I have to do...
Yeah, I'd do that. Or, here's what I would do.
Uh-huh.
Here's what I would do. I would I would send it to 1111 Constitutional, but
Okay.
I would address it. I would address it in care of the person's name.
Okay.
And what they'll do is they'll get that in Washington D.C. and they'll say, "Who's this?" And usually that you'll have an employee ID number, right?
Okay.
When you look at that letter, and put it in care of, send it to the 1111 Constitutional, but put it in care of that employee with their employee number. That way, when they get it in Washington,
it has her number.
They'll say, "Oh, this is supposed to go to Janet Smith in Ogden, Utah," and then they'll ship it to Ogden, Utah, but it'll be delivered there at the Treasury.
Now I remember
you know
what you had stated a while back, that Ogden, Utah was basically set up for collection.
Yeah.
So I just
they're going to collect.
Good news.
And they're going to collect from the Treasury. If you've done that, if the Treasury is the lender, they're going to collect from the Treasury.
Right. I mean, like I said,
I've got probably the biggest collection facility. That's where all of our stuff went when we sent this all to the secretary, not Janet Yellen, but Jacob Lew. When we sent it all to Jacob Lew, the lien securities to Jacob Lew, we sent it to them at 1111 Constitutional, and then they sent them to Ogden, Utah, to collect from all of the people that we did the $4 and $12 million lien securities against. Ogden, Utah. I'm very familiar with Ogden, Utah.
Yeah,
so,
that's what all these IRS letters are from.
Yeah, and think about this. They're instructing you to do this.
That's good news, right?
The only problem they have with you is apparently you didn't put the 8888 in with it.
Right, and I did. However,
you did, and they lost it, or it fell on the mailroom floor, and they said, "I just throw it out." That's
what I was thinking too. But it's kind of nice to hear it from you.
Yeah.
I've got a second question.
So does that answer your question?
That answers that question. Can I have one more question?
Very quickly. We do have a lot of people waiting.
Okay. I went in and I talked to, I've got all the bonds lodged, and I went in and I talked to the CEO at BMO Harris. He's also in private wealth, and I sat down and talked with him and the CFO last week and explained what I wanted to do, that I wanted to open up an account. I'm non-interest bearing, blah, blah, blah. Now, I said, I have bonds, and I know that I can fund the account with these. Well, he wanted to see them, so I showed them to him. And as he was looking at them, he said, He said, these are private treasury bonds. And I said, yes. He said, these are in liquidation mode. Now, I know what liquidation means, but I'm wondering what he meant by that, and stated that he was not sure if his staff was able to handle or was experienced enough with transferring these into my trust. Now, I have a trust that I've created, and I do have, it's a trust account through a brokerage firm that is specifically for the trust. And I explained to him that I wanted to open up individual trust accounts for my clients, that I had a big waiting list, and that the bank could possibly stand to make money. And what could we do with those? Well, he stated he seemed very interested. He took a lot of notes, even took pictures of the bonds, so on and so forth. He just called me back today. Now, he even stated, if I cannot help you, I will find somebody that is experienced with this. He called me back. Pardon?
I said,
he called me back today.
So what's the question?
The question is, when he called me back today, he said that he would not be able to help me, but he would continue to look for somebody to possibly that knew a little bit more about this. My question to you is, I feel like I'm kind of stuck on stupid. I've done all this paperwork, and is it just basically finding the right person to do this? I feel like I don't know where to turn next.
It sounds to me like he's turning for you. Is this guy going to... Sounds to me like this guy doesn't know how to handle it, but he's going to look into somebody who can. I mean, that sounds to me like
right,
he probably knows there's some
said.
money there. If I turn the right guy on and who knows how to handle it, I'll get a kickback. That's kind of how I think he's going about this. That's how I do it.
Right.
Well, I can't help you, but I know somebody who can, and I'm going to turn him on to this job. I'm going to get a percentage of what he makes.
Right. I mean, I just feel that, I've went in, my husband and I both have went in and talked to so many bankers, and I know that it has to specialize in private trusts, not just so much the private banking, because private trusts are so much different than public trusts. And he explained that to me. And I said, I know that.
Yeah, that's great.
But it's just, I don't know, do you have any advice for me that of where to go, what to do next?
I'd hang... the bond thing, I've known about you guys getting these bonds for, I don't know, about 7 or 8 years now.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never really got too deep into them. I would probably say, how about I monetize the back of this thing? Would that help?
Right. I mean, I've even went
you may have the guy going, well, damn, I never thought about that. Yeah, sign the back of that thing. That's all, that's about the only thing I can tell you about that.
I've even went as far as doing the letter of credit, the letter of patent. I was a big Patrick Devine fan, and, to do the coupon draw with the Federal Reserve.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
I guess there's just not enough
other than that, I wouldn't, I wouldn't be able to, I don't think I could advise you in which direction to turn with that.
Right.
I think your banker friends probably trying to help you out, it sounds to me like. If they smell money there, believe me, they're going to get the right people on it.
I mean, he flew in from Montreal. he came there for me, and it's wow.
That tells you how much they're interested.
And then left right after I left.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that sounds great. I would keep us up on how that worked out for you.
I will. I'm a big fan, and it's always nice to hear your opinion.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you calling.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
On. Good luck to you.
Bye-bye.
All right, 518 area code. Go ahead.
You want?
Hello. Hello, can you hear me? Hi,
yes,
sir. My name is James. And Chris,
we
spoke last week.
from people named James.
Oh, dang it!
All right, we'll make an exception.
Chris, we spoke last week about buying a property with constitutional money, and nevertheless, well, I guess I did have one quick question about the other end of that, about recording that property. Now, I know I should record it. Is that going to qualify me as registering it, or I mean, how does that work if I right? I always
register.
want to record it.
You register the deed. That's what you'd be registering.
Right. You got it.
You're registering. If you're going to register something, you'll be registering the deed.
You got
what
it.
you're talking about is making a record of it, a public. I'm assuming a public record, right? Put it
Right.
on the public record that you bought this constitutionally.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's
Gotcha.
what my friend did. Michael, he bought some property here. Actually, Michael bought the property he bought in town was owned by the county. The county took it for back taxes, and Michael bought it from the county mayor. The county mayor actually signed the bill of sale, and the county attorney came back at him and said, after a couple of years, came back and told him, you need to come down here and register this deed. And he said, I don't intend to register the deed. He said, well, you need to come down and register the deed. And he hasn't. That was 8 years ago. And
yeah,
I heard nothing.
I wasn't planning on doing that. I definitely know I needed to record it, but wasn't planning on.
Yeah, you can record it into the public record. You can go down to the courthouse and make up a statement saying, I bought this property, at this address or this county number, and put it in the record that you paid with gold and silver. You paid with constitutional money, and they should. They'll do it. They'll do it right there if you're trying to make a public record of it. But if you don't even want to do that, you can go to the newspaper and run that same thing that you would put in the county record.
Sure.
Run it in the newspaper for three weekend editions, and then go down there and get a stamped receipt that it ran for those 3 Sunday states. And that's the same as putting it in public record.
Yeah, I like that. How would it?
If you don't want to involve the courthouse at all, go. What's that?
If I wanted to add it, if I wanted to record it, I like that method. I like that a lot. But if I wanted to place that in my UCC, if I wanted to do that with a UCC3, then how? I would be going to the recorder anyway, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
if you wanted to. Yeah, it's being, when you use the UCC in your state, that is a book of records. That's considered a book of records. So you're actually recording whatever it is you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
With the UCC3
there.
Yeah. Right on. Cool, man. Cool.
UCC3 is the assignment. You're assigning it. You're using it as an assignment.
Definitely. I like that. Excellent. Great ideas. All right. Well, that's great. I did have one little bit more of an involved question, if I could.
Quickly.
Yes, sir. So I was born in California, and my birth certificate had an error in my last name. And many years ago, I think it was 2005, I amended that record by affidavit. And so I think it was, I don't know, however long after that, I ordered a birth certificate, and they sent me the original certificate of live birth and then the affidavit both on the parchment paper, and and it was my original affidavit with the border around it, certified copy.
Okay.
And then this year, 2022, I ordered another birth certificate, and you wouldn't believe it, they sent me page 2. They had completely redone. They had completely forged this affidavit, and it was all typed out. It was all in capitals, and they went and got some losers at the department to swear that they
okay. Look, you probably don't need to go any farther than this. What you need to do though is take this to the Attorney General, to the State Attorney General's office. There's crimes. They've committed crimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
What you have is evidence of a crime. You need to make copies of everything that you got and take it to the attorney, the AG. Take it to the AG. You could probably just send it certified mail, and then when it gets there, when you know that it's been delivered, call and say, look, there's a crime being committed. I'm holding the original document, and I don't care to bring these to any trial, but there's been some crimes committed. So that's what you're looking at.
Yeah, I mean, it's just outrageous. I really.
So does that address your question?
Yes, sir. Yeah, mainly it does. Yeah, I just didn't know where to start.
All right. Thank you. Okay, 657 area code. You're next. Go ahead.
Oh, Chris. Good day. A quick question. Are you familiar with the new Edgar 1 and Edgar 2 manuals that just came out? This is Thomas, by the way.
Chris?
You there?
Okay. I think we lost him. Hold on.
Again later. Goodbye.
Hello?
As a voicemail box that has not been.
All right, you guys, I'm trying, so hang in there. Give me a moment here.
Tad, can I speak while you're trying to reach him?
Speak what? I can't call him and speak with you at the same time.
Well, I was just wondering if anybody else could hear me speaking while you're trying to call him. All right, I'll wait for you to get him back. Thank you.
All right, hold on.
I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach. I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach has a...
All right, you guys, I'm probably going to try this probably 4 more times before I call it quits. We'll try them again, so hold on, please.
Yeah, if I could make a couple of statements after you get done trying. Thank you.
Which has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet.
So that's 1.
Which has a voicemail box
2.
that has not been set up yet.
Hold on. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. Don't go anywhere.
I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach... I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach has a voicemail...
Okay, so I think he's gone.
Tad, may I make a couple of statements real quick?
Okay.
Okay, in regards to the woman who was on the call earlier, talking about the accident she had on California, I'm not giving her legal advice here, but I would recommend that she go check out the California Department of Insurance, go on the printable complaint forms and look down at non-health, i.e. home, auto, home, life, and fill out a complaint and let the carrier know that, if they don't respond to her in 24 hours, she's going to be filing a complaint with the insurance commissioner. That was number 1. Number 2 was the gentleman that was just on there talking about how the people altered his birth certificate. I'd recommend the man take a look at the form 14039. It's an identity theft affidavit with the Department of Treasury, Internal Revenue. If they're altering birth certificates, that is a criminal act. So that form number again is form number 14039. And the last thing I was going to say was 43 states in this country use a book called Mason's Manual. It's a Mason's Manual for Legislative Procedures. And in that book, they talk about the role of the people. In Section 73, it states, the people of each state are vested with the sovereign authority expressed by elected representatives serving in a legislature. In that same book, in Section 7, it talks about, quote, unquote, being organic in character, constitutional provisions stand on a higher plane than statutes and are mandatory. So with that, I would just want to say that, and hopefully these people are still on the call and maybe get a little information out of it. Thank you so much.
All right. Hey, thanks for sharing. Okay, you guys, I'm sorry. especially for you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people that are still in the queue that have your hands raised. I'm very sorry. I was doing what I can to get through us, but and of course I called Chris like 8 to 10 times or something like that. So I appreciate you being here. Please go to youhavetheright.com, join our mailing list so you can stay informed and consider joining our membership website. That helps me out to hold these calls and other things. So thank you very much, everybody, and we'll see you again next week. Good night.
Thank you, Ted. Thank you, Ted, for hosting the call. Appreciate it. Talk to you later.